Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hi, and welcome to episode 151 of Total Retail Talks. I'm Joe Keenan, Executive Editor of Total Retail. Joining me today is Chris Rowland, CEO of Pet Supplies Plus, a fast-growing pet food and supply retailer. We're going to be discussing the tactics Pet Supplies Plus is using to grow its physical retail business in a competitive space. Thanks for joining me, Chris.
Great to be here.
So let's start by having you briefly tell our audience a little bit about Pet Supplies Plus, those that are unfamiliar with the business.
Well, Pet Supplies Plus is a full-line pet retailer with 435 locations in 33 states and growing rapidly, as you mentioned. Our stores range from 4,000 to 10,000 square feet, and we carry products for all of your pets, including the largest assortment of natural pet food available. And we also offer services like self-serve pet wash and grooming, and have live pets available and cats for adoptions.
Great. So as I mentioned, Pet Supply Plus operates in a very competitive space. Pet retail is a growing category. So I'm interested in kind of on the backdrop of a challenging environment for brick-and-mortar retailers. Obviously, that's not news to anyone. There's been traditional retailers have been challenged by kind of changing consumer behavior. So with that as kind of the context, what are you doing at Pet Supplies Plus to differentiate your stores as well as the experience you offer to your customers?
Well, there's a number of things. First of all, we are the largest franchise pet retailer. So a big part of our strategy is around focusing on the local owner-operator. Our stores are smaller and located in your neighborhoods, closer to your homes. Our goal is to help our neighbors make it easier to buy the best products for their pets, minus the hassle. So while our prices are lower than our national competitors, our service is significantly better. In fact, our Net Promoter Scores, or how the neighbor rates their experience in our stores, blows the competition away. We have highly educated and engaging team members in the aisles. They're available to answer your questions and carry your products directly to your car.
Yeah, right. And so you mentioned the franchise model, Chris. So my question would be, one, are the same services offered at all franchise stores? And two, what are you doing from a corporate level to ensure that those experiences that each of your franchise is kind of meeting the level of expectation that your customers want and that you expect of them from a company perspective?
Yeah, great questions. So first of all, we do have services in all stores. All stores that have opened in the last 5 years are mandated to have the self-serve pet wash. A lot of our stores, and most in the last 5 years, have groom shops as well. But it's critical that our franchisees understand exactly what they're getting into. And when you're talking about grooming as an example, we want to make sure they are passionate about providing that level of hands-on service to their neighbors' pets. But in addition to that, we do regularly survey our neighbors. So every neighbor has the opportunity to survey our stores, and we have minimum standards that our stores have to maintain in order to, quite frankly, remain open. And that's part of a scorecard. It's also part of an audit process. So the good news is we never have to enforce it, because we really look for franchisees that are as passionate about taking care of the neighbors as we are. So it just tends to be a reason why they tend to buy into PSP to begin with.
Yeah, I would imagine many of your franchisees are probably pet owners and pet lovers as well. Absolutely. So you mentioned that the business is growing rapidly, particularly stores. So can you tell our audience a little bit about that growth that you've seen? And then kind of a secondary part to that question is, what do you attribute to that growth to and success?
Yeah, Pet Supplies Plus has been adding about 50 stores per year for the last few years. And this number will continue to increase now that we have our foundation and support in place to handle an escalation of franchise stores. We're opening 3 to 4 franchise stores for every one corporate store, as we believe the franchise model in pet is the best way to connect locally with our neighbors in providing an engaging, fun, hassle-free experience while also helping the local community. So I think that message is really getting out there where people are coming to us. We're starting to see a lot more interest than we've seen in the last few years. And I think with what's happening in retail, people are looking for something that connects more locally, has more of a passionate flair to it, if you will. People want to love what they do what they love, and all of that resonates really well with Pet Supplies Plus.
So as you talked about, this isn't really a traditional just retail store where it's just stocking merchandise and you come in and you transact. There's you bring your pets in. There's services that are available at the stores. So what kind of changes has Pet Supplies Plus made to its stores and particularly in the staff? Training and different kinds of services that you need to have staff on hand to provide to accommodate customers that are coming in into your stores.
Yeah, so there's a few things. So first of all, about 5 years ago when I started with the company, we really began to focus on the culture. For me, it really starts with the culture and the folks that you bring in the doors. You have to be passionate. You have to want to have fun. You have to want to connect with the neighbors. But to support that, our stores are smaller than our national competitors, but we have a much larger assortment of natural foods. So we make it easier for our neighbors to get the products and services and solutions for their pet, again, without the hassle that's often involved in brick-and-mortar retail. We have the self-service pet wash. Again, this is to allow you to get your pets clean without having to clean your whole home afterwards. We've talked about the grooming services. Now, we require all groomers and any managers in the building to go through a very rigorous safety training and testing protocol every year. We also have in-house grooming academies with a very, very strong focus on safety. As you can imagine, unlike selling pet food, when you're handling somebody's baby, it's incredibly important, first and foremost, that the pet is safe and that the experience is a positive one. And that's something we stress and we've really spent a lot of time on. Now, the good news is, because it all started with the culture, it actually becomes pretty easy to execute because we do have team members that are absolutely passionate about pets and the neighbors that they help to service.
So we've talked a lot about your stores in particular. Kind of shifting gears a little bit, let's kind of bring in the other part of the business, the e-commerce and digital portion of Pet Supplies Plus. I'm interested in what you're doing to maybe you can talk about the online business a little bit and what you're trying to do to kind of integrate both digital and physical to provide kind of a seamless experience for your customers, and no matter which ways they choose to interact with Pet Supplies Plus.
Yeah, the online phenomena as of late has some retailers concerned. We're not that concerned, partially because of our convenience model, partially because of the services, and partially because of the culture and the environment we've created. Having said that, we're currently testing buy online, pick up in store, or as we like to call it, you click, we fetch. So keep that whole pet thing going. This will roll out to all stores in 2018 and will be immediately followed by buy online, deliver from your local store in 2019. So unlike our competitors, we don't want our online offering to be a centralized, impersonal experience. All deliveries and relationships will remain at the local level with our franchisees in your neighborhoods. So with each purchase, our neighbor will be invited back into the store for discounts on services like grooming or pet wash, or possibly to join us at a local event that may be happening in their store on the weekend. People love to socialize with their pets, and Pet Supplies Plus is the place to be.
Do you find a lot of crossover between your online customers and those that are coming into your store locations?
Absolutely. So what we see happening and what we expect will continue to happen is someone may come in to purchase Redford dog food, as an example, once a month. In the future, we can envision where that purchase will immediately be shipped to their home on an auto ship program. Their pet's been on that same food now for 2 years. With each box or with each delivery, there will be a handwritten note from our store team leader from that local store that you shop at to say, thank you, here's your bag of Redford Naturals, and here's a coupon for 10%, 20% off an in-store purchase. We still want to see you bring your pet in, or here's a discount on an in-store service. Again, we'd love to see you. We'd love to keep that connection with the store, but we understand that, shipping dog food to your home is the way you want your pet food delivered, and we're okay with that as well.
And then my final question, Chris, is, since Pet Supplies Plus has had some success in this area, what advice would you have for other retailers that are either looking to strengthen existing retail stores or maybe even enter the channel for the first time?
Well, I think, first of all, especially when it comes to brick and mortar, there has to be a reason for your neighbor to come to the store. And I think if it's just about product, that's not going to be enough in the future. There has to be a connection. There has to be an authentic connection, which is why we focus so much on local. Even in our social media, we have local Facebook pages. So everything for us is around keeping that local experience. It's also critical that your retail business and your online business complement each other and are consistent experiences to your in-store offering. While it's harder to execute than a one-size-fits-all model that many online and brick-and-mortar retailers choose to deploy, we believe the local operator or franchisee maintaining that authentic neighborly connection is what sets Pet Supplies Plus apart and is what's going to be consistent in both the in-store and the online omni-channel experience.
Great. Well, I want to take this opportunity to thank Chris Rowland of Pet Supplies Plus for joining me today. Please check out our podcast channel page, mytotalretail.com/podcasts for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Stitcher, but make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. Thanks, and I look forward to you joining us on the next episode of Total Retail Talks.